I'm going to do the introduction. You want the countdown too?
Yeah, let's do the countdown. Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody. Well, welcome. Of course, I'm Doc G, and we have a lot of hopefully great news for you this week on what's going to happen in the Chances Chat. This is for entertainment purposes only, as it says. And welcome to Chances Chat. And Chance and Wyatt are here for their discussions.
Brian's going to be along with us in a minute. Fascinating Brian.
And Brian.
And the ladies will be on at 8:30, and Doc Wiedemann will be on for 8:45. Hello. I see people are jumping on already. It's really great to see you.
That's the reason why. It's the reason why I set that where the way it is, because in case I have to leave, it's there, and now you can see everything. And if you want me to pull something up, you just tell me, and I'll pull it over.
Right. Hey, before I go any further, I want to give you some news about Australia. Okay, Wyatt, you probably already know this. Okay.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, last Thursday, I announced it on the show last Thursday that Canada is now the 51st state of the United States. It has not been publicly announced by Trump or the Trump team, but it's true. I had some documents sent to me, and it was pretty cool. And so I know it's a fact, and I think they're waiting for the 4th of July. Makes sense. Okay. But we've got when I say we, I'm now including Australia, because they're going to be part of the North American Union. And Australia is very important to me because my best friend Wyatt there lives in Australia. But there's other things that's important to me because you guys got some killer musicians over there. I mean, just off the hook. And anyway, I can't remember their name, Mickey. But anyway,
what do they sing?
What's
the name of the tune?
Hill County Country Club, something like that. But they're great. Yeah, they're not a recording group. They're just a performance group. And they do their own twists to cover tunes and stuff like that. But
I saw them on TikTok. They're really good. Yeah, they're
real good. Yeah, and the two that really made it was Nikki and her husband, and they split off and they're doing another thing. So, but they're all working for that Google money. By the way, we do not get any Google money. Okay, we know where the Google money comes from, and we don't want it. Okay, we work on donations, but. What I want to talk about Australia is Australia, and then we got our resident expert on Australia right here, so he can vet all this. My numbers that I'm seeing are around 5,300 illegal aliens a day coming into the country. Now, I'm hearing from another source is 2,300, but I hear 5,300 more than I hear anything else. 5,300 illegal aliens coming in every day.
Yep.
Now I'm going to tell you where this is leading to. Now, if all this information is correct, follow me on this. And I got my verification right here. Okay, but if all this information is correct, then what's getting ready to happen is the government of Australia is going to collapse, and it's going to collapse very, very quickly, and it's going to collapse very, very suddenly, and that may be the beginning of the 10 days of darkness for Australia. Follow me on this, guys, because I'm going down a rabbit hole. But if that's the beginning, then everything's in chaos, right? What better thing to happen next is for Australia to become the 52nd state
love it.
of the United States.
I love it.
I'm telling you, this is the way I see it. I'm just as certain of this, and then Trump will also be your president. And the reason I'm saying Australia is next is because of all the immigrants. But I'm getting reports from several people that I communicate on a regular basis over there in Australia that you guys are having a lot of problems with ATMs and people not getting cash out of the bank.
There are some people having those sorts of problems. Yeah.
Right. And when the economy goes down, that's the end of the bankers. So so the reason Australia is next is because of all that. Now, who's last? Of course, New Zealand will be included in on that. New Zealand will be included in with Australia. So it will probably be 52nd and 53rd, or they're considering both together one nation. I don't know how they're going to do that. But anyway, let's get into who's next after that. Well, I'm going to tell you because I got insider information on this too.
Greenland and Iceland.
Huh?
Greenland and Iceland.
No. Mexico. And the reason Mexico's next is right now, the white hats. Now, Greenland and Iceland will be in there. I'm absolutely certain of that. I'm absolutely certain of it. But what they're doing now is the military is converging with drones and feet on the ground, and they're saving the children of the cartel, of the drug cartels.
Heard that.
That's what's going on down there. And you're not hearing anything about the border. You're not hearing anything about Mexico, are you? No, because they're keeping it hush-hush. And also, you're not hearing anything about Israel, are you? No, they're keeping that hush-hush. And you're really not hearing anything about the Ukraine either, because it was over 6 weeks ago. Ukraine was over 6 weeks ago. You're following a narrative. You're following a story. You're following a movie. Okay, so don't. And if you say Israel is for last, which is what Q said, well, we'll just have to wait and see, because sometimes a diversion is necessary. That's all I got to say to start out with, except thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. I'm going to turn it over to Wyatt because he's got the real skinny on Australia. I just had to bring that out because I'm really kind of worried about our brothers and sisters, cousins, and family in Australia. So, Wyatt, tell us what you got, brother.
Well, what Chance is saying is right. It's going to collapse the government. There's also a strike planned by the Transport Workers Union, which is the equivalent of the Teamsters in the United States. They're going to shut everything down. So the government's in a lot of problems, and they're going to have a lot of problems pretty damn soon. Simply because of the fact that we have a housing crisis developing as well. We've got droughts in the state of Victoria. We've got floods in the state of New South Wales, and we've got rain on the way here coming in Queensland. It's not not real good at the present moment, I can assure you. Doc, could I get the screen share, please? I just want to show something to some people.
Sure. What do you
talk
got?
about what Chance was
you should
speaking
be
about.
able to use it. You can use it. Sure.
Okay, no worries. All right, well, hang on.
Go ahead.
Present an image file, and let's see. I'll just get this here. Sorry, but I don't know whether you've seen the flag that's going to be the new flag or not for the Kingdom of the United States, which is be one of the 7 kingdoms. I just got to get it. Got to find it. There it is. All right. It should be going now. Yeah. So there was an issue. Please try again a little while. Okay, don't worry about it. So last week I was talking about how the banks were going to collapse and how it's not going to be as expected. I want you to keep in mind right now that the developing world as we know it is actually not the developing world anymore. They're the first world countries. All of the Western countries are actually the third world countries. And people saying, "Oh, it all hinges on Vietnam. It all hinges on Iraq, and all that." They're done. They're ready to go. We are the Western world is the only thing that is holding everything up, right? But we've got to get certain things resolved. Now, Chance touched on that about Israel. We're not hearing anything about that because they're pretty much done. But this whole thing with Russia and Ukraine, that's got to be ended, right? And Putin's doing exactly that. He's ending it because, Zelensky says, "Oh, yes, we'll negotiate." But as soon as they want to have a trilateral meeting in so far as the negotiations with Russia to stop this war, Zelensky says, "Oh, no, no, no." Right? Then goes out on a begging tour. He's the world's beggar. So, this is the delay. This is partly the delay. Now, insofar as the banks are concerned, it's a transition from the banking industry over to the wealth management, right? Now, a vault is different to a safe. A vault is built into the building with a big door on it that can't get in. These banks, a lot of them do not have vaults. That's one of the reasons why they're closing the door. The second is because the branches are not getting the number of customers into the bank. They can't justify keeping the doors open. Well, that's what they claim, at least, anyway. But the thing is with this is that the banks are changing. They are absolutely changing over to this, right? Now, people are worried if South Africa's got anything to do with any of this. No, it doesn't. South Africa's got nothing to do with this. South Africa's oh, excuse me. South Africa has absolutely nothing to do with this. From the comments of last week, all right. What's happening in South Africa is that they've got regime change on the way too. All right. Canada, as Chance has said, is going to be the 51st state. Alberta. That's why the king actually went over there, because the people wanted him over there, but he had to sign off on everything, because they exercised the law that the monarchy had put into place, and Charlie had to go over there and he had to sign off on it, allowing them to leave. That's what that tour was all about. That's the reality of it. On the 27th, we were not expecting anything to happen, but something did, something really big, and it hasn't been widely reported. And that is that the Supreme Court of the United States handed down a decision about President Trump's powers under Article 2 of the Constitution. He has unfettered power when it comes to rejigging government agencies, deporting illegals, etc., etc. And I'm telling you now, Trump is going to wield that power like never before. But he has absolute power in the executive to take care of all of the executive. And those government departments are part of the executive. All right. They're not part of the legislative or even, or anything like that. So, or even the judiciary. They are absolutely, in the executive. So he can fire people at will, and nobody can say boo about it. And this is how they're going to get rid of the deep state. So that was a very, very, very big thing to happen. Now, getting back to the banks very quickly. When you go and do your exchange and whatnot, right? You are going to become sovereign again. Okay? And you are the bank because you have always been the creditor. And it's like Chance was explaining last week about the fractional reserve banking system. They get you to fill out the form to apply for the loan, and you securitized it with your signature. It's your signature that gives them the access to this STKV account, which they then take out of your money and then loan you your money, right? But that's your signature. So every time you've signed something, your signature has been worth something because you are the creditor. And that's the one thing they never wanted you to know. The other thing they don't want you to know is that when you're in the new system, you are the bank because you are the creditor. That's why the banks can no longer exist. They have to go to being wealth management centers. They have to manage your wealth for you or to help you. You're going to have to pay a fee for that. Now, we do encourage people to take money out of the bank so that you can deal with the transition. How long that transition is going to be, we don't know. All right. We also tell you to get food in your pantry so that you're prepared. All right. Now, if you can't take all of your money out of your 401k, your superannuation, your bank account, and you might have $100,000 in there, that's fine. The QFS has been running alongside for a while now. It just hasn't been made live. It's mimicking everything, every transaction that you do through your bank account now. All right. When this goes down, the QFS, like the banks will go down. The banks will go down. You won't be able to access your money for a while. How long that will be, we don't know. This is why we are encouraging you to take your money out or to get enough money out to see your way through. But when all the dust settles, right, you will be able to get access to your money because it will be in the QFS, because the QFS will be live. Right now, it's not live. All right. It's running. It's up and going, but it's not live. Yes, Chance.
I just got word today from my contact in Minnesota. He cashed in some XRP to make his house payment. The transfer took less than 2 seconds. QFS is live and operating.
Oh, it is. All right. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, it may not be in Australia as yet, but
that could be true too.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, it is running alongside, has been for the last couple of years. We've been assured of that. We've also been told that we could have, ATMs out of money and all of the trouble. So that's why we encourage you to take some money out and be prepared. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, a lot. The Basel III compliance is where we're talking about the gold in the vaults, right? And we've got to keep an eye on Switzerland for that reason, because Basel is in Switzerland, and the bank that is running it all is a Rothschild's bank, right? But the Rothschilds have been taken care of. There's a lot of regurgitated stuff going around on the internet about, who's been arrested and who's been executed and all that sort of thing. But I got to tell you, we are very much in a phase where the good guys are not telling us a lot of information, if anything at all. So whatever you're seeing on the internet, whatever you're seeing on Telegram, whatever like that, a lot of it, I would say 99% of it is regurgitated. So just don't get bogged into it. There are still a number of events that have got to happen before the RV can happen, right? We've got to see the collapse of the stock market because of gold. It won't collapse in the way that we think it will. Right? There is a transition of wealth going on at the moment. And along with, what RFK Jr. and President Trump are doing insofar as Big Pharma, this is where the wealth transfer is happening. Right? So little bites of the cherry, tiny little bites of the cherry. And by the time the bad guys know what's going on, the cherry's gone. All right, so that's what's happening. What else? I think that's about all for now that I can think of. But yeah, there's a hell of a lot going on, and we are very, very close to all this happening. We've got to see arrests before the RV. So will we see them live? Probably not. We won't see a lot of them live. I think they're reserving one for a live arrest. And we all know who that is. 44. Renegade. So I'm really looking forward to that. But these people that have been exposed, they're all in the news. Fauci's coming back into the news again. I don't know if you noticed, but they're all being exposed, and they will all be held accountable. But we've got to remember now, insofar as the number of people who are awake in Australia, as I said, 6 million people did not vote in the last election, or did not vote properly, or they did what I did, voted for President Trump. So that's a third of the country. A third of the country is very much awake. And with what's happening with the housing crisis and them bringing in immigrants who are going straight into these houses that are available, putting Australians out on the street, I might add. Combine that with the strike and the drought and the floods, they're all man-made. And the strike is going to cut off the supply chain. We are going to hurt in a big way here very, very shortly, okay? But it won't be for long, because and then you've got, we've got a prime minister who has ties to the Communist Party. Most of the high-ranking Labor Party officials in the Australian government are communists. Card-carrying communists. So, it's really, really, really a sad state of affairs. And, but, as I said, we are in Biden 3.0 in Australia. But these are the sorts of things that Biden was doing. Was doing in his term, who we all know it was 44's third term. He was sitting in his sweats in the basement with an earpiece in the puppet's head. Right? We all know that. And there's a lot of talk about the auto pen. You can talk about the auto pen and all the names that they're trying to throw out as to who was actually in control of it. The person who was actually in control of it was 44. All right. So, oh man, I got to tell you, it's getting farcical. It's getting to the point of farcical, and I see some of this stuff that's going on around the world, and I've got to laugh. I really do. I've got to laugh at it, because if you don't laugh, you cry. And sometimes I laugh until I cry. But just got to keep the faith, folks. That's all I could say to you. Keep the faith, and it's not much longer. It really isn't. But as I said, the 27th was really, really good because of that SCOTUS ruling. Do we see something happening in June? I'm hoping so. When in June? I'm thinking early June. It's looking more and more like, it's looking more and more like early in the June, and then we'll come into July and have that big, beautiful 4th of July celebration that will go on for a year. Remember that? It will be going on for a year with all the release of the new technologies and everything like that. So we are really, really going to not know ourselves. Over to you, Chance.
Oh, I don't know where Fascinating Brian is. He should have been popped in by now, but he did have a small crisis with my SSP contact, which he knows very well, and so that may be why Brian's not with us. But what I really want to talk about now is I want you all to think about what you're not hearing. Think about what's in the news, in the fake news, that you're not hearing about. Because I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. You're not hearing about the border. You're not hearing about Israel. You're not hearing about the Ukraine. You're not hearing about what's going on in Venezuela. You're not hearing what's going on in Mexico. And you are getting a little tiny bit of the happenings in Canada. And I'm very pleased that Canada is part of the United States. And I can't wait for Australia to become part of it. And I'm very, very excited. Australia is one of those mystery lands I've always wanted to visit. And after it's part of the U.S., I guarantee you I will go there before I get buried under the ground. But anyway, we've got so much stuff that you're not hearing. So what you need to do is think back about 3 months. Everything was big deal, big news. You were hearing about it all the time. Think about that. And then think about what's none of that is being talked about now. Now, you're not hearing about any particular members of the Congress, the House, the Senate. You're not hearing about anything about that. You're hearing very little about what's going on with the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court. You're hearing very little about any of that. Well, why is that? Because the White Hats have been busy. They've been picking them up. Okay? I reported, I think it was 2 weeks ago, one day in particular, 92 members of Congress were picked up. And I imagine central casting was pretty busy that day, or they had been busy the month or two before because they've already got the replacements in there. Now, I have got Grassley, it lives 7 miles from my house. I've told you guys that many times. I saw a recent video, and anytime I see him, I always pay attention. Not because he has such a wonderful message or anything like that, but I'm paying attention because he's close. And I could see something right back here, guys. Right back here. A noticeable wrinkle in the skin right there on that video. I stopped it and played it back. I don't think I saved it, but if you look around, you're going to see it too. And my condolences. My condolences to his son and his wife who are still here in Lee County with me. My condolences, because I figured out what's happened to him, like they probably already know. And they're probably pretty devastated. Chuck Grassley had the potential doing a lot of things for Iowa. He had a lot of potential for helping Iowa. And it's not happening. Okay. Now he's wow. This sounds like my theme song. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. We're getting all kinds of technical things. But anyway.
I was going through messages and yeah, and that tune was on there.
Oh, gosh.
So that must be a sign from above to listen to what Chance is saying.
Yeah, there are doctors in Texas that are being picked up right now, and some nurses, and they're going to trial. And all I can say is the National Guard is the ones picking them up. So if you see any National Guard activity around your hospital, guess what? Somebody's going for a ride. Okay, yeah. National Guard. high-ranking officials have been noticeably silent. Noticeably silent. I've actually contacted a couple of them, and it was hard to do. They don't want to talk to anybody. And, then they say, who are you? I'll say, well, I'm Chance McFadden. I'm in Fort Madison. Or, do you work for the government? No, I don't work for the government. Well, I really don't have any business talking to you. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because
So
they've been replaced.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I'm not certain of what the state of Mayberry, Fort Madison, Iowa, is after December. I will tell you that the mayor of Fort Madison has decided not to run for office after this term is over in December. What's that all about? And noticeably, I don't get around very much. I go to the gas station and the grocery store and that's it. I mean, I don't get around much at all. I'm pretty much a hermit. And I've had like 6 people say, "Why don't you run for mayor?" And I said, "Well, I don't think anybody vote for me because I'm black sheep of Fort Madison anyway." "Oh, we'd vote for you. We'd vote for you." Yeah. I got a feeling I'd end up broadcasting from the underneath the daisies, because somebody would definitely take me out, because I don't believe in corporate government. And that's the first thing I'd do, is I'd disband the corporate government, divide the profits among we the people. Gee, whose playbook am I following now?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I've just been watching some of the comments. There's no news on Brunson, not coming out anytime soon. We will get it after we go through the 10 days and we're in the new system. We will get that. We will get disclosure. So the disclosure will be going on for years. Okay, so we'll know about Brunson there. Durham report, same thing. The McAfee information, same thing. Yes, they are continuing to spray in Australia with the chemtrails. That will be stopped once Australia, the government goes down. So apparently there are some people saying that it's still going on in America. Yes, it is, but the EPA is going to be very much onto them about that, because they have executive orders that they must adhere to now, and they will be arrested insofar as the people involved in the chemtrails are concerned there.
Right.
And you're right, there will be no mayors under common law. It's because it's completely different. It's a completely different system, and that's going to take a while for people to actually get used to the idea of and get their heads around it. But it's common sense. It's all common sense. That's all common law is, really. Right? So
common law is based entirely on God's law, Wyatt.
Yes, and that's common sense.
And exactly. That's exactly. I couldn't have said it any better myself.
Yep. So, by the way, how's my sound, folks?
Great. Sound great.
I've moved the microphone directly in front of me now, and I've moved it away from where it was. So I'm glad that's helping. So anyway, it'll be the Prime Minister of Canada who will be the governor for a while. He's only a transition guy anyway. They'll pick somebody else. They'll probably have fresh elections, but I think we're going to all have fresh elections not long after Nassara and Jassara comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we'll have free and fair elections. So
and it'll all be conducted by the blockchain.
Yeah. Diane, I don't think a bozo just got arrested. If that'd be all over the news. It's as I said earlier, it's a lot of regurgitated stuff that we've been hearing for a long time. Yeah, I know. There was a time when there was good stuff in the spray in Australia, but now it's gone back to the bad stuff again. They're altering the weather with it. They're harping us. Hence the droughts in Victoria and the floods in New South Wales. I mean, they're pushing cloud into Queensland. So we're next to get a downpour. Okay. There was something I was going to tell you, and I've forgotten it. So I'll turn it back to you, Chaz, until I remember.
Right. Well, good. I got something I want to interject. Okay. Now, listen to me, folks. This is important. If you think you are getting intel from YouTube, Rumble, from these channels that talk about it's all crap. Okay. Don't you guys remember me talking about the script writers? Before Wyatt ever came on the show, I told you guys about the script writers, and they make videos, and it's all to keep you occupied. And also for the ones on YouTube and Rumble, they want you to click on it so they get paid. They want that cabal money.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when somebody, and Diane, I love you to death. You're a great lady, but there's no news, real news on. So when you send me a link and say, Obama got arrested or something like that, please understand it's just clickbait. The real Obama was executed. The real Michael, he was executed at the same time. I've got the details and I've got the date in my Gitmo notes. One of these days after Nassar Gassara has been announced, I will sit down and read my Gitmo notes to you. It's going to blow your mind. Okay. Now, just remember, it's all fake. You've got to have contacts in the military or in a position in order to find out information. Luckily, I got Wyatt here, who has military contacts. And because, whether you know it or not, Wyatt is a big deal in Australia. He is the holder of due course in Australia. You are a big deal. You are a big deal, brother. And because he filed those documents, he's in a position that no other Australian is in. Okay? And what that's going to mean is going to all unfold. And we're not going to sit there and talk about this for an hour. But what it means is it's a good thing. That's why Wyatt is expecting to talk to Trump very soon. And just remember one thing, okay? He's not blowing smoke up your wazoo, okay? Yeah, I can't put the Gitmo information out yet, but after the SARS announced, actually, yes, Greg, you got it right. Somebody read Greg Lee's comments down there. He's actually right. Oh, that was funny. That Greg, isn't he in Australia? Isn't Greg in Australia?
Yeah, Greg's Australian. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah.
I got it just while I remember. NDAs. There's a reason why you're going on an NDA, and that if you go on an NDA, it's because you're getting a different rate to somebody else. They don't want you talking about it to anybody, apart from the fact that Normie on the street isn't going to get paid until probably September, right? When everything else comes in. So you're ahead of the curve. So that's why you're going to have to be on an NDA. But, if you're, everybody's, as we said, some people are going to get a higher rate than others because they've got projects or because of their attitude and whatnot like that. But the NDA is to protect that, right? And you shouldn't be telling people about your business anyway, quite frankly. So that's that. No, I don't agree with Mel Mayhem. I don't agree with a fair bit of her stuff. But I'm not saying she's right, wrong, or bad, or good, or anything like that. I'm just saying I personally do not take too much of what she says too seriously. I'm just trying to answer a few questions here. I don't think the IMCO is going to be big enough. No, that's why they've got other mega prisons. That's why they sent the illegals that they took down to Gitmo and they sent them on to Venezuela. So, yeah, so that's why they got prisons all over the world that they're going to put them in. But they'll soon empty out, if you get my meaning.
I don't pay any attention to Ricardo Bosley. I don't pay attention to him at all. He's not even a real person. But listen, I can't scroll up there. I can't scroll up that question.
I can get it. Tell me what question it is.
Gregory said, what about Jim Willie? Well, I'm going to tell you something. Jim Willie is an odd duck. And I'm going to tell you why he's an odd duck. He concentrates on the economic positions of different countries, currencies, contracts, and everything. And by doing nothing but that, he gets incredible side information that's going to help determine the economic future of these countries. So is Jim Willie good? Absolutely. I recommend Jim Willie. And if you're a mind to listen to
Warren Buffett.
you can follow Warren Buffett, but Warren Buffett's he's right. He knows
what's going on.
Yeah. Well, he knows absolutely what's going on. Why do you think he sold all of his stock? You know,
and told everybody to go out and buy silver.
Yeah, and foreign currency. He told his stockholders at the stockholder meeting to buy foreign currencies.
Yep.
Okay, I got a good one today. Okay. If you want to listen to one, this is the guy I listen to, but he's still stuck in the cable guy's mindset. But he gave some good information today, and that's the economic ninja. Okay. He gave some really good information today. You can buy. You can buy Pascal.
Yeah.
I don't pay.
Yeah,
no,
Pascal Najati. Kim Devine just said something about that when you were talking about Bosie. You were actually probably referring to Pascal Najati. Pascal Najati. Oh, he's no, I don't. I could. He's going to face. He's going to face action.
Yeah, I heard he was. I heard he was. I heard that he was AI generated. Pascal. That's what I heard, Wyatt.
Yeah.
I heard he wasn't even a real person.
But the person behind Pascal Najati is going to be in a lot of problems because he's been making documents that give the appearance of being Space Force issued. That's forgery, folks. It's also misrepresentation, and under you, and then of course you got the United States Code 1550 is subject to that too. So, oh yeah, he's not a good guy, and I'm not going to comment on Ricardo Bosie. I won't do that. I don't think it's appropriate that I do. Okay. Because
I get that. I get that, Wyatt. If you listen to Tyler Hansen, he's the guy that exposes the people that are playing more than one role. Okay. He's out there on some stuff, but other stuff he hits the mark dead on. Okay. I get it, Mick. My son's talking to me in the background. But he hits the mark on 80%. Okay. If you want to know about him and Brad Pitt, go ahead and watch his videos. They're on Facebook, and they're on YouTube, and they're on TikTok. Yeah, he's constantly getting banned. So you better, but download if you want to do it, download his stuff because it's yes, I do have an idea when silver will rise. Yes. Would you like to hear? I've got a really good source, and you can go back and I think 3 or 4 weeks ago I told everybody by September, October, or November, in those 3 months, silver is going to go to $384 an ounce. $384 an ounce. And I'm getting this from the top silver guy in the country who called me. I didn't call him. I didn't solicit him. He says, "You're a big advocate of silver." And I said, "Yes, I am." And he says, well, he introduced himself. And I said, "Oh, well, how do I know you're really you?" And he says, "You don't. But I'm going to tell you. You can call me back anytime you want to. I got his number. I will call him." And but anyway, he says 384 to 386 by November. So, and there's some other. The Economic Ninja put out some information today that I never got to share with you yet. Economic Ninja is absolutely correct on what's getting ready to happen. What's getting ready to happen with the penny, because there's still thousands and hundreds of thousands of pennies out there in circulation that are made in copper. Even though they have a face value of only 1 cent, they have a melt value of 3 cents. You want to do a soft investment? I'm going to give it to you. Go out and buy $100 worth of pennies. Go through them. Find the ones that are copper. They're different colored. They're easy to find. They're pre-84. Okay? And save them. Because when the penny's gone, let's say you've saved $300 worth of pennies. When it comes time, you could take those and have them melted and get 3 times the money for them. It's a very soft way of doing an investment. But there's another thing that's going to trigger. And he's saying the mercury dimes. Well, I think it's going to be more than that. It's going to be more than the mercury dimes. I think it's going to be all dirty silver. And if you know what dirty silver is, it's got a very high silver content, pre-1965 dimes, nickels, quarters. Okay, look into it. Do your research. I just called the lady today that I deal with. She's extremely honest to a fault. And I asked her if she had any mercury dimes. And she said yes. And I asked her how many she had. And I said, well, I don't need that many. But I'd like to have this much. And she says, no problem. I got your name written on them at today's price. So she'll be back in on Tuesday. Okay. Physical silver is good. Silver will surpass gold in 10 years. That's exactly what Lynette Zhang, Jim Willie, and who is the guy that has the wolf as his I can't think of his name. My brain's gone. I'll think of it later on. I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now who else do I listen to? Not very many people.
That's for sure.
I really don't listen to a lot of people. That's Jim Willie, Lynette Zhang, Economic Ninja.
Goodbye, be happy.
We are not having any RV anytime soon. The world
Goodbye.
is out, and we have Satan and Zionists running the White House. Well, hello, Trolley.
There's always one. There's always one, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Okay.
Oh, these people. Oh,
Okay. Now,
oh,
just
they weren't
remember,
so
after the RV happens, you will be enriched too. Okay, but what you are is your brain is infected with nonsense. Okay, you have been MK ultra'd. Okay.
The only reason why you think you've been lied and brainwashed is because you've been lied to and brainwashed.
Oh God. Okay. Now
Oh,
I want to talk to Wyatt here. You guys can listen while I'm talking to him. 2 weeks ago, we were having a discussion about wise.com, and we've just found out, actually, it was Bernadette, the administrator of my show, found out that wise.com is now compliant. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's in their terms. It's in their terms and conditions.
I went and checked that, and that is absolutely correct. They are compliant.
So there you go.
I went and checked myself.
Buy your dong.
Yep.
Buy your dong. And, Cliff High. I used to listen to Cliff High. I used to listen to him. And then he started going dark against the RV. I'm not going to listen to anybody that goes dark against the RV, because the RV is a gift from God. Okay. He is running this whole show. Okay. Gene Decode is the wolf. That's it. That's who the other guy that I listened to. But he gets a little bit wacky. Okay.
Yeah, he goes a little bit off script.
He goes into places. He makes his own rabbit holes up. That's what he does. He makes his own rabbit hole. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Wait a minute, there's nothing there. Well, I'll make something up. Let's go down that rabbit hole. Okay. There's nothing down the rabbit holes. And anybody's against the RV and the med beds are just plain stupid.
Well, as you said, they've been MK'd, altered. They've been lied and brainwashed. Lied to and brainwashed, and they don't think they've been lied to and brainwashed. That's the great beauty of it all. But yeah, there's when you saw Doge go through the government departments and they were all waste, fraud, and corruption. They exposed all of that, and the left and people like Be Happy were railing against it. So do you want fraud, waste, and corruption in your government? Is that what you really, really want? You've got to ask yourself these questions. Then you've got them railing against the deportation of illegals that they put up in hotel rooms so that the hotels couldn't make any money, destroying business and the reputations of these hotel chains. And yet, when President Trump uses his laws, his authority under Article 2, they rail against him. They do all the lawfare against him to stop him from doing what he was elected to do. Are you that far asleep that you're just going to allow fraud, corruption, and waste to continue forever and have you completely enslaved to a system that doesn't honor you at all? Seriously, wake up. That's why the Supreme Court handed that ruling down on the 27th. That was huge. But did you see the media talking about it? No. Have you heard about it since? No. You heard it here. All right. This is what's really going on. So, I'm laughing at these people now because, they're so MK altered that these are the types of people who will never, ever wake up no matter what happens. And I just laugh at them now because they're so pathetic. Because they do not have the ability to open their mind to see reality. And we are at a time now when we as a collective who are awake, at different levels of being awake, of course, but we all need to come together and associate with like-minded people. And that's why most of the people that are in the chat and watching this show and listening to it on Hamilton Radio are here because they want to know what's happening. And, you know, Chance and I try to do our very best to bring the best information to you so that you can be guided, find your way through this. We're only the sheepdogs, right? We're here to guide you as best we can. We don't have all the answers, and we never will, because there are some things that we're not allowed to know and we're not entitled to know. And even when it comes to all of the disclosure in the future, we're not going to know everything. But our lives will be so much better, right? So, yeah. Sorry to digress away from what you were saying.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
To be said.
We had some comments there about how much some of these people make per month on Google. Yeah. And that, I heard supposedly that Patriot Street Fire is making 100K a month. Phil G is supposedly making 55G a month, and we don't listen. We have a lot of listeners, but listen? Here's the thing, guys. We're not taking any of that cable guy money. Okay, are we, Doc? Are we taking one penny of cable guy money?
We are not.
Yep, I refuse to. Doc refuses to. Wyatt has morals. He refuses to. And now Rumble's paying people, paying broadcasters now.
And I've never ever been in this for the money, ever.
No,
I've only just had the ability to see patterns and say, geez, there's something up with that. Let's go and explore that, and then I figure it out, and then I tell people about what I see and what I hear, and that hopefully guides people through. That's the only reason why I'm here. That's the only reason.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's what guides me. Okay?
Yep.
Anything. I do not worship Trump. He is Cyrus in the Bible. If you don't know about Cyrus, Google it. Read about Cyrus, how he was God's instrument. And that's what Trump is. He's God's instrument. I believe that Trump wants nothing but the best for the world. But you know what? If you're going to make a delicious omelet, you're going to have to crack a few eggs. And that's what Trump's doing. He's cracking a lot of eggs. Okay? He is making it so there will be a future in this country and in Canada and in Australia and in Mexico and in Greenland and in Iceland. Okay? Remember when Wyatt said there was military compounds all over the world? He's right. He's dead right. I didn't know about the one in Venezuela. Oh, I like that.
What happened?
Turn it a little bit. We can't see it.
Disappeared. It disappeared again.
Oh, my president is bulletproof.
That is so great. I love it.
That is cool. Okay. But there's also military confinement bases in Greenland and Iceland. And if you don't know anything about Antarctica, yes, absolutely. And if you don't know anything, it's really interesting. If you do your research, there's some vintage footage about the construction of the bases in Iceland. It's actually on YouTube, and the next time I see it, but you got to look for it and you got to watch it, because the manpower that they sent in there in the 1930s to dig this compound out will blow your mind. And guess what? They couldn't have done it with chisels and drills and stuff like that. They had to have some special technology.
Yeah. They had something like 100,000 men on that project, and they had to build the housing and everything for them. They had to build their own houses first.
Right. Yeah. And they also had to build, they got stores in there and a mall in there. It's quite an operation in Iceland. Now, if you like Iceland, then you're really going to like Antarctica, because there is so little information coming out of Antarctica, but we know the future is held with what we have yet to learn from the other side of the ice wall. So get ready. It's coming, whether you like it or not. I got into an interesting conversation. You're going to like this, Wyatt, about the pylons that the electrical cables run on and run through and go through, especially up here by Iowa City. I know, I'm going to tell you, it was late last year. I haven't told anybody this story on the air, so this is the first time I'm doing this. I was going to Iowa City for something. I can't remember what it was. And I looked at those pylons and I thought, yep, they're getting electricity from the ether, and they're probably getting electricity from the earth battery. Okay. And I thought, you know what? There's a place right there I could pull over, and I'm just going to walk across and go look at it. Get up close. That ain't happening. You know why? I felt energy. The closer I got to it, there's electrical energy humming all around one of those pylons. But I did get close enough that I could see the pylons are going down straight into the ground, and they're getting electricity from the earth battery. You don't know anything about earth batteries, do your research. And then I noticed the pylons. They go up, and there's two antennas straight up, but the construction of the antennas are very, very similar to the Eiffel Tower, where Tesla did his experiments on ether energy.
Okay? Yeah, that's a Tesla tower. That's actually a Tesla. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Diane wants to know where she can get one of those T-shirts. I got that T-shirt off Wish. Okay.
But I couldn't get close enough to get any of that. I mean, it was like static electricity all around me, and it started to make me feel kind of sick. So I backed off, and I got in my car and went on. But listen, if you see one of those pylons, you notice they don't have anything around it. There's never anything around one of those pylons for 200 or 300 feet, because you get within 200 or 300 feet of it, you can start feeling the electrical charge. Okay? Now, how in the hell, if they're generating something from nuclear or coal, then how come the tower's putting off all this energy? How come? Because the tower is absorbing the energy and redistributing it and charging us out the ass for it. Okay? So if there's a little something that I'm finally sharing with you.
I paid the power bill yesterday, as a matter of fact. And as I'm paying it, I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? This will be the last power bill I ever pay.
Yeah, I got one due Tuesday, and it's just like, $400. $400.
Yep.
For what I used to pay $150 for.
Yeah, but we won't be having to pay for power anymore.
Yeah, I can't wait. And I would love to see Alliant Energy, Mid-American Energy just go out of business.
Well, that area, they'll still be in business, but the thing is, you'll be paying a service fee, but you won't be paying for
kilowatt hours.
Yeah, you won't be having metered electricity. You'll just have a thing that so it'll all come through the ether. And at some point, when we get into this new future, the houses are going to be like a holodeck. They're going to have a hollow house, HOLO, like the holodeck on Star Trek. Your house is going to have a hollow projector on your land that runs off the ether, and you can have your house any way you want. You can modify it any way you want. So, there's your house. Turn it on when you're inside and turn it off when you go out. And it just looks like a block of land.
Wyatt,
That's going to be great.
Wyatt, I met something I've been meaning to share with you, and I just found out this Monday, and I've been anxious to talk to you about it, but I've been so darn busy trying to get this house. Electric cars are a big scam, Greg. They are, and we had them back in the 1890s, and the battery technology was prehistoric back then. But let's talk about what I learned Monday. Okay, Monday I learned that I just had a brain fart. Ann's not going to be with us tonight. Lillian is. I think Lillian's ready to come on, but let me get through this part here first. I'm brain farting. Let's go ahead and bring Lillian on. I'll get back to you.
Here she is.
Hello, my friends.
Gorgeous.
How are we all doing?
How you doing, Lillian?
Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
Fantastic. Great to see you guys all. We have always, as usual, today has been an incredible day. It's like every time I turn around, I keep on getting these surprise testimonials, voice messages, pictures, people coming on to Zoom and telling me, hey, I sent you pictures and a written testimonial. Look at that. I have one gal who it's a short 2-minute audio Zoom that I can play for you guys so you can listen to it. But this gal's testimonial, this is how I started my day this morning. She's the first one. We won't have time for me to share the others, but if you give me permission, I'll share that one right now.
You got permission from me. You got permission from me. It's up to Chance.
Yeah, go okay. For it.
All right.
I love that message. Thank you. I don't know what's going on in my body, but I can only tell you I'm pain-free, including the pain that was in my right breast, the nerve pain that my doctor said, oh, sorry, I don't know anything about that. That is gone. I feel amazing. I just had a 3-hour lunch with my friend, and we drank so much water and wine, but she and her boyfriend are both signing up. She's having oral surgery tomorrow. So I reached out to Anne real quick, and I patched her and I gave her things for the next 3-4 days. And then she and I will get together and we will get with Anne and get them signed up. I just got off the phone with my husband's niece, and she has been caring for everybody. So either Friday or Saturday, I will get her signed up. She's so on board. My aunt, that's 83, will be calling me Friday. We've already done our talking, but on Friday we will sign her up. I started patching my husband this morning because he put a drill through his hand last Friday, and I reached out to Anne and she told me how to patch him. So for 4 days, I patched him the way she said, and his hand has healed, and he's been working. Even Saturday he worked with his hand, and he's a general contractor. And he said, honey, this morning he said, I don't have my arthritic pain in my hands and my hips. And I said, turn around. And I put 2 patches on him right away. I said, you are now patching with me. And he goes, oh, okay. So I'm so excited, and I'm so thankful. I know people, it's going to take a little bit to get everybody signed up, the logistics of it, but the seeds that I've planted, and I see my brother and sister in Colorado. I go there in 3 weeks for a sibling trip, and I'm taking patches with me, and I've already been sending them the information, and both of them need this so badly. So, gosh, praise God for this, truly. Anyways, I look forward to meeting you in person because I really feel like we're going to meet. So I will talk at you later. Have a good evening. Thanks.
So that was the first of several. I think I've had 4 or 5 today. It's amazing how people just keep on sending their testimonials. And then so that gal, Deborah Lewis is her name. I'm going to show you. That's what she looked like April 18th when she had her explant surgery to remove her breast implants because she had autoimmune disorder and she had all sorts of rare illnesses and a lot of pain. And her right breast was the nerve. The doctor said, well, I don't know about that. There's nothing we can do about that, but we're going to remove your breast implants. That's what she looked like April 18th. That was 6 weeks ago. Now check this out. This is what she looks like now. She has no pain, and her white hair, she's already starting to grow on both sides of her head. Her original hair, dark hair color. Do you see that? She's starting to grow, and look at her face. The bags that she had and some of the wrinkles, those are gone already too. But she has
completely different woman.
pain. Yeah, looks like a different woman. I go, oh my gosh, you look like Jamie Lee Curtis, like a prettier version of Jamie Lee
Actually.
Curtis. Doesn't she? But I'm like, oh, and she's like, I feel fantastic. I'm like, I can't, and to have such a serious illness and to be post-operative, because she started on the patches like 2 days after she had that surgery. That's her picture. And then this is what she looks like without a smile, so that you can see. But like, her skin is like amazing. And she already has her original hair color starting to come in already. Incredible.
That's amazing.
That's
work. That's
Lily.
why we support.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that the reason why we support the patches is the fact that they work. They have different results for different people. It works a bit quicker for some and maybe not for say quick for others, but they work. They absolutely work. And it's not just testimonials. It's scientifically proven, isn't it?
Yeah, we have it. We have over 90 published studies that we can make accessible. We have 94 of them actually that we can make accessible to you. And then we have some of our surgeons who have conducted studies themselves and have published them and have presented them, and they're also indexed on PubMed. So, yeah. Chance, you had a question or you had a comment?
Yeah. What we should discuss a little bit is what Ann told me about this week with her new camera or her device that shows infrared.
Yes. In fact, there was a gal, I have one too, and she has one also. So this is an infrared camera that we use. So for example, she met with a gal on, I think it was Monday this week. And as she was scanning the gal, she actually saw that there was some sort of mass on her back. And so she mentioned to her, she's like, hey, do you have something going on in your back? And she goes, yeah, I have a tumor in my back. It actually showed up on the device. So this is something her and I both just got this device. So we're just starting to use it on people and starting to get out there face to face with people, because that's something we can't do remotely. Remotely, I have a scanner. It takes like 2 hours to scan people head to toe, and it goes down to every little nerve in the body. It's a little overkill for this, but we can see the before and after of people when they are starting, and then when we patch them, the change in the temperature in the body from patching. And so that was the intention of getting this. And of course, we can see things that are, as you get more trained with the device, we can see things like, in this particular case, this gal had a mass, which is a tumor that she already knew that she had. So that's what this device kind of looks like. I don't know if Ann had showed you. I have some pictures of my hand. I can show you guys kind of what that looks like, just to kind of give you an idea. I wasn't planning on sharing this, but this is also for those who are a little bit more skeptical, who don't think. So I'm going to show you. These are my feet. So I'm going to show you this, and people are going to go like, why do your feet look like that way? And so this is kind of showing you that my body's not done repairing everything, but you can see my big toe for this one foot, and then the second toe, you don't see it in the third one. So obviously circulation is fine, but apparently I've got some lack of circulation that's kind of going there with some of my toes on that foot and on this foot, right? So as my circulation continues to improve, I don't really have cold hands or cold feet, but obviously the evidence is right there. So that means that, maybe I might move some of my patches and put them on my feet to increase my circulation on my feet, so that I don't have, that patchiness. So I have full circulation going all the way down to the ends of my toes. Now, that being said, when I got hit by a bus, I had numb toes because there are all sorts of things that got disconnected when I got brain damage. I literally had brain damage because I was hit on the back of my head and my lower back at the same time. So not only did it damage my brain, it damaged my spinal cord on my lower back. It actually messed up my whole spinal cord. And of course, I had a neck injury, back injury. Also, I had a leg injury. And I remember that there were times where it's like I had very numb toes, but I knew that it's because the nerves from the nerve damage that I had from the accident. But if you would have asked me if I had I don't have numb toes now. I feel my toes totally fine. But obviously the circulation's not 100%, even though I feel 100%. That's what this is showing me. They haven't. It's like I can't argue with this. I would like to tell you that my toes are perfect, but they're not. So that's a cool device that we have that we've just started implementing to show kind of before and afters.
Okay, well, I want to address something here. We got a comment here from DJ Clark says, I could only afford 1 month and I got absolutely nothing from them. So disappointed. Well, let me explain to you. Are you 30 years old? Are you 40 years old? Are you 60 years old? Are you 80 years old? Okay, because you need to use the patches 1 month for every 10 years of age before you start seeing results. Some people get results faster than others. That's a scientific fact. Some people are slower. Next week, with Maria number one's permission, I'm going to show you a picture of her mother who went to her son's wedding.
She did?
And what she looks like in the wheelchair, and she has been on the patches 4 months. Okay? From a woman who at the very best could have been considered guarded condition. So I'm going to get Maria's permission to show the picture and next week I will show it on the show, and we will look at it and we will realize even though she can't walk, she's trying to get out of bed to walk. That's part of her body talking to her brain saying, yeah, you can do this, let's do this. But she's not quite ready yet, but
she's getting there.
She's been on the patches 4 months. Okay? And she's in her 80s. So realistically, we should be going another 4 months before we see any results. Okay? You did not get yourself in this physical condition overnight. Okay? So how do you expect the patches to fix your physical condition in a month or overnight? You can't. Everybody has a different result to them. Okay? And as long as you understand that, that's what is important for you to realize. Any progress that you had made in that month is now gone because you didn't keep it up consistently. If I said anything that's incorrect, Dame Lillian.
No, you said exactly right. In fact, for like he said, for every decade of life that you've been alive, you need to stay on the patches to just even come close to par, so that 33% of all of your stem cells are actually on. After let's say if you're 70 years old, then that's 7 months. Then after that, provided that it's repaired everything that you got going on, now your body with that extra energy that it doesn't have to waste to repair, it can turn on new stem cells in addition to the 33% that was already on. That's why we have such dramatic effects when you look at people who have been wearing the patches 2, 3, 4 years. Dr. Harmon is a great case in point. He's been on the patches for 5 years. He had all gray hair when he started, and now he has all brown hair and he has just a little sprinkle of gray in front. That man had a right bundle branch blockage, and he needed a knee replacement surgery because he had bone-on-bone knee pain. And his doctor said, your bones are a polished knob. There's not even a tiny bit of cartilage left. You need knee replacement surgery. And he said, no way, Jose. He's like, I'm not doing knee replacement surgery. 14 months later, now 4 months later, his knee pain was gone. Was it totally rebuilt? I don't think so. But his knee pain was gone. And he knew that he wasn't going to get knee replacement surgery, but he had decided that before he even discovered the patches. He just knew something out there existed that could help him with his more serious issue, because you can live without legs, but you can't live without a heart, right? 3 cardiologists told him that he needed he was going to have to be on heart meds for the rest of his life because a right bundle branch blockage is not operable. It is not operable. Left bundle branch, that's different. Right, once you cross over to the right side, when they try to enter a catheter, or sometimes they do something called ablation where they laser. Once you cross that septum, people have a stroke, so they don't do it. So 14 months after he was on the patches, the 3 cardiologists that he had been conferring with all confirmed your right bundle branch blockage disappeared. We have no idea how this happened. We've never read a case study. We've never seen it in our practice. This is unprecedented. And then he revealed to them, well, for the last 14 months, I've been on stem cell activation patches. And now Dr. John, not only does he have his original hair color back and he looks like 20 years younger, even all the inflammation that he had, because he had a lot of inflammation in his face, all of that has gone down. A lot of the fine lines and wrinkles and the grooves in his face. He's not 100% disappeared because he's a man, he's in his 70s, but he's dramatically younger and more athletic now than he was, 5 years ago. So these things are possible for everyone who wears the patches every single day to signal your body, just like you drink water every day, just like you feed your body fuel in the way of food and vitamins and minerals. Yes, if you're deficient in vitamins and minerals and you just eat fast food, your original stem cells are going to be turned on, but it's going to have a harder time because it has to detox you from all that junk food. So you have to give it good nutrition. You can't be deficient in your vitamins and your minerals, with Doc G and the guys here can help you with, but you're doing your part to treat your body well now, right? Activating your stem cells, drinking your water, and then you're the one who you're going to pay the price either way. You pay the price of pain and everything that goes along with going to the doctors, having all those meds, and having things. Your cheek is now turned to the left and now everything is getting infinitely worse. Or you can turn the other cheek and things can get infinitely better, and you start properly hydrating, nourishing your body. It's like, you know what? I'm going to not do those fast food places anymore. I'm going to stay away from MSG. I'm going to start, let me do an introduction with Doc G, and let's start with some vitamins and some minerals, because I know that my diet, I don't know. I'm allergic to the word diet because it has the word dye in it. To me, I just like to eat healthy. I don't do diet. I've never done diets. Low fat, fat free, none of that stuff. And I'm like, no. I just want as colorful of a plate as possible to eat healthy and holistically and stay away. Do I like ice cream? You betcha. I rarely go without ice cream, in my home, but I eat everything else is, healthy, and I eat organic. So it's like, yeah, I can afford every now and then to go. I don't go to 31 Flavors very often anymore, but I used to go all the time. But I get, stuff at Trader Joe's or Sprouts and things like that. The thing is, you're taking good care of your body, and then you're doing your parts to, like one of the gals today, 6 weeks ago, she started close to the same time as Deborah Lewis. And 6 weeks ago, Shoshana could not even walk 100 yards. She had horrible arthritis in her hand and her knee and her hip. She couldn't even walk 100 yards, kind of like David Urban. This is her 7th week. And today on the Zoom today, I was surprised. She told me about how she's walking 3.2 miles today. 3.2 miles. And that's not all. She also is doing push-ups, 2 sets of push-ups and sit-ups. And oh, by the way, she's 77 and a half years young. And she went on to tell me that she has no pain. Like, she's like totally fine. And this is a woman, she's doing push-ups. And she said she had horrible shoulder pain before she started on the patches. She goes, she's not 100% pain-free when she does the push-ups. She goes, I do have some discomfort. She goes, but I can do push-ups and I can do sit-ups, which I couldn't do before. And I'm walking 3.2 miles. She's very goal-oriented. And so now her goal is to go from it taking 3.2 miles, take about 2 hours. Now she wants to reduce her time. So she's being very mindful. And in addition to being on the patches and drinking her water, I advised her to do an anti-parasitic protocol, which is basically anybody can get this. And I don't make any money off of this. You can go to Sprouts, Whole Foods, Mother's Market, Trader Joe's, or you can go to Amazon. You can just get black walnut, ginger, clove, and wormwood. Those tinctures you take, this is like a freebie for any of you who can't afford the patches. You should be doing this because you should always be on an anti-parasitic protocol, because you can get parasites from lettuce, from a banana, an apple, an orange, from a piece of well-cooked beef, from sushi. You can get them anywhere. So this is going to kill not only the host parasite, but also it'll kill the eggs, which is about every 21 days you have a new egg cycle. It'll kill it all off. Black walnut, ginger, clove, and wormwood. One little dropper, that's like 30 drops each. You put it in hot water. Doesn't matter if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ounces, a big mug of water. You do that first thing in the morning. And what Deborah was doing, she drinks that 2 to 3 times a day, because she said she'd never done an anti-parasitic protocol. And so she goes, yeah, she had some detoxing to do, extra going to the bathroom and so forth. Not to get gross, but we're all humans. What goes in must come out, right? So it's taking care of those things. Chance, I think you had mentioned that you wanted me to address some of the issues of people, because we've had, not just in this group, but we've had also outside of this group, people mentioning that they saw that the patches were available on Walmart for a fraction of the cost, or on Amazon. But Walmart's been a big one. And also on eBay. So our corporate office is aware of that. Those are not legitimate. Walmart does not carry the patches. What we're finding is that the people, because corporate gets phone calls from people, it's like, oh, well, we bought your patches, but we got them through Walmart. They're like, well, Walmart is not one of our brand partners. We don't offer them through Walmart. And the thing is, our corporate office, they're the ones who fix the prices. We don't fix the prices. We have the retail price and the wholesale price. That's it. So in many instances, people are paying for the patches and they're not getting them. And then in some instances, people are ordering those patches, paying for them, and then they get patches that don't work, because they don't look anything like, you can tell that they're not like the legitimate, like what our sleeves look like, because these have an expiration date and all that kind of good stuff. For example, this is what our X39 sleeve looks like. Well, they say to us, it's like, well, you can tell that it's not like a professionally made envelope, so something's not quite right. And so the patches, they use them and they don't work. And I'm like, I'd be afraid to use those patches, because you don't know what they put in them, because they're counterfeits. So they're also cleaning up things with Amazon so that people don't have them, because usually the ones that are on Amazon are either just an outright scam, or people who got the patches, they've kept them for 2-3 years, and they're like, okay, they want to now get their money back. It's been 2-3 years, and they're looking for somebody to pay for it. And once you pay for it, they figure it's like, now they're out of luck. At least they got their money, right? So that's kind of what's going on there. The only safe way and valid way for you guys to get the patches are from people that you know, like, and trust. You're looking at them. You've got Chance, who does so many things for free, and so does Wyatt, and so does Doc G. They give you every time you come onto this YouTube channel, you don't have to pay for it. We don't have to pay for it. This is free information. If you want the RV papers, then you'd give a donation of $50 for those RV papers. And that's like a smidgen of a smidgen of a smidgen, because Chance will walk you through and answer any of your questions. If you had to pay an attorney for that, that would be thousands of dollars. We all know that. So there's so much that is given here, just like my advisement to you about black walnut, ginger, clove, and wormwood. That advice, you don't have to go to the doctor's office to get it. I'm giving it to you here for free, because I want everybody to have this anti-parasitic regime that they can use. It's a strategy. It's not that expensive. Each little bottle is like anywhere from $8 to $12, not a lot of money. And it lasts you, because you're only using one dropper full at a time. It lasts you a long time. I hope this makes sense. And I hope you guys, I would never tell you what to do, but I hope you get started today and reach out to Chance, reach out to Wyatt, reach out to Doc G. They're committed to doing what's right for humanity. We don't care where on the planet you exist. All mammals can benefit from this, humans, as well as our furry friends, the quadrupeds, because I know, Chance, don't you have like 7 dogs?
I have 7 dogs. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to add something. I wanted to add something to your spiel there. Okay.
Mhm.
I am an expert, a documented expert on musical equipment. Okay, and I can smell fake Gibsons, which are $3,000. I got this off of China. It's $325 for Gibson Les Paul Custom. That's a $3,500 guitar. Wait a minute. How did you actually think that's real? Well, yeah, it says Gibson right on it. I said, I'll tell you what, go on the Gibson site and look up the serial number. The sad thing is I'm an expert, okay? And I'm also an expert on phony crap. And the LifeWave patches that you get from Temu or China or Amazon or eBay or Etsy or wherever they're selling these fake ones at, they're making a lot of money off you, and they don't care whether you get healthy or not. And you're not going to be able to talk to any of them or listen to any of the testimonials that you listen to like you do when you come to this show. Okay, and Lillian is absolutely correct. The patches are wonderful, but you have got to give them the nutrition, the vitamins and the minerals, and there's no vitamins or minerals any better than longevity, okay?
Top of the line.
And that's a perfect segue into introducing Dr. Wiedemann, who has his own show right here on HamiltonRadio.net. It's also on Hamilton Radio 1, all one word with the number 1 at the end, Hamilton Radio 1, on Monday nights at 8 o'clock. And that's Wellness Revolution.
You bet.
Is that right? Wellness Revolution.
I betcha.
Okay.
Yeah, the Wellness Revolution. I want to say another thing about just the same thing is true with longevity. You don't want to go to Amazon, and the reason is you will never follow through. You will never have the information that we have to give you with the website. And I wanted to, I'll have you talk a little bit while I'm putting some pictures up here because I want to show you where to go. Okay.
What you need, and Doc, after tomorrow we're going to get together, and I got to get some of that stuff for the parasites that you put on your feet.
Oh yeah.
And next week we are going to part of the health part of the show. We're going to talk about parasites. I've gotten some very incredible information about parasites because if you don't think that 90% of your problems, your health problems, isn't parasites, then you're out of your mind. Okay, and that's all there is to it. We're going to talk about parasites next week. We're going to talk about this product that Doc has that you put on your feet, and I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. So next week, please tune in because it's going to be important. And listen, the longevity products are fantastic. I use them. I use them on my dogs. Yes, Lillian, I have 7 dogs. I use the minerals on my dogs. I use the minerals. I wipe my face down. I spray them. I wipe my face down. It's just refreshing. It's like taking a shower. I spray it on my chest. It's the largest organ on my body. So what you need, my belly is? My son says my belly's the largest organ on my body. Okay. Thanks, son. Anyway, are you ready yet, Dr. Wiedemann?
Yeah, just tell Mickey to be nice.
Yeah. He can't be nice. I'm interfering with one of his TV shows. Hurry up and get off the air, Dad, so I can watch my TV. I got dogs. He's got dogs. Okay. Anyway, listen. Are you doing any shipping in Australia or anything like that, Doc?
There is shipping available in Australia. Yes, absolutely. Longevity has its own division down there that is based in New Zealand, and they shipped all of Australia. And so, yeah, they have it all down there. So, absolutely.
Well, tell us what your show's going to be about Monday night, Doc. Tell us what your show's going to be about.
Well, I'm not 100% certain because I haven't talked to Marvin yet. We and I discuss all these things usually, with the exception of last time. We didn't discuss that with him at all. He hasn't been available this week because he's really, really busy with his. He has a huge house in Utah. He's totally supported by Longevity. He has a tremendous business all over the United States, and so let me see here. I still got my mind on trying to get this stuff uploaded real quick. I got couple more pictures to put up, and then we'll be ready.
Let me know when you're ready, Doug. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Okay, here, hold on.
Well,
while he's getting that ready, I want to tell everybody it's still time to order the RV protocol papers. You send $50 to Cash App to $McFadden Chance. $McFadden Chance on Cash App, or to wise.com. You can send it to my email address, which is chancemusic@yahoo.com. We're also accepting love donations. And anything you want to send to help support Hamilton Radio 1 to keep this programming on the air is very grateful and appreciative. We are very blessed to be here for you every week. And it's every week. It's a new experience. It's a new, even though it sounds repetitious, it's a new thing every week because we got new information every week. And we're very blessed to have Dr. Wiedemann, Dame Lillian, and Ann, and Wyatt, and you, Doc G. None of this is possible without Doc G. So go ahead, Dr. Wiedemann. Let's hear what you got to say. And
well, just a second. Ready. I'm still dealing with the pictures here.
Yeah,
I'm not quite ready yet. I'll let you know.
While you're doing that, Doc, let us know when you're ready. But I just want to say something real quick because I've been quiet the whole time. My good friend passed away, Terry Draper from Klaatu. I don't know if you guys know who Klaatu was. It was a band that must sound like the Beatles in 1977. Terry Draper was the kind of guy that anytime I was on air, I'd send him the show and he'd put a thumb up and say, "Thank you for sending it to me. I'll share it with other people." It was just an all-around great guy. And he will be missed. He just passed away March 15th. Not March 15th, May 15th. And I just found out now. And I feel real bad about it because I've been sending him shows. And I'm sure, he's getting them somewhere. And it's just, I'm in sorrow.
I'm sorry for your loss.
He was a great musician. He played with a lot of great people in Canada. That's where he was from. And that's where he lived. He resided in Canada. And he's just a wonderful guy. I wish you could have met him, Chance. He was an amazing musician that just kept doing album after album after album after Klaatu passed away or stopped doing albums. So that's all I got to say about that.
Sorry for your loss, brother.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, my condolences to you, Doc G, because it's a hard thing to lose someone, and if you've been. And you never know if you could have saved them with some of the things we're offering.
I know that's the part that bothers me too. I've had music friends before, like Chance and other people, and I'll send them things and I'll say, "Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Goodbye." But here's a guy that was opened up and say, "Welcome. Yeah, I like to look at it. I'll watch it and then share it." And then that's kind of the people you want in your life. You won't want people just move it around and go, "I'm not interested." I've had that happen with some great people that I interviewed that I thought they were really great people. And I said, "What are you sending me that garbage for? I don't want to see." Okay. I know now. I didn't know that,
Yeah.
Well, not everybody's open, not everybody's open to self-improvement.
Yeah.
There's some people out there that just want to
say stuck on doctors.
Like they want to drive themselves into the ground.
That they don't want to even look at the alternative treatments.
That is true.
Because they're brainwashed to believe in big pharma. So,
Wyatt, did you see our show on medicosis?
No, I haven't yet. I'm supposed to be retired, and I'm finding myself more busy than I've ever been. And I'm just wondering how the hell I ever went to work when I was working.
Doc G and Have you guys that watched it, what were your thoughts on it, Chance? On medicosis?
Well, on which one?
Medicosis.
The show on medicosis.
It was very thorough, and the only thing I can say is I know a lot of people that have medicosis.
And the other thing
a
I
lot of
can say
people.
is, I experienced it firsthand in a family member, so I know exactly what he's talking about. It was just crazy.
Did she happen to watch that show?
She wouldn't watch it.
She wouldn't watch it. Yeah, see, they're so closed that they will not, think any other way. They're in this little box, and but for those of you out there that want to improve yourself, I'm going to bring up some of these pictures here, image file. If I click on them, will it bring it up?
It should, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what goes back to what we're talking about earlier, about be happy and so surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Okay, because it's the only way you're going to get through, I think.
You're right, Wyatt. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, can you bring up the picture on Get Doc's Let's Play Doctor?
Sure.
This is what we're trying to encourage people to do. This is a book that you can actually get to self-assess yourself. You should be, you don't have to go to the doctor for these tests. You go there and they charge you a whole bunch of money. You have to get involved in insurance. And guess what? It opens the door to all of the Pandora's box of whatever they're going to do for you. I just had a friend who went in to have his prostate drilled out, and now they've said they have found cancer, and now they want him to come back in again. And it's the same old thing. It's the onboarding into major surgery, which will lead to his death, which they'll make money off of all that. And it's like they inflate everything to the maximum extent. Instead of following if you follow Doc's protocols, it'll make a huge difference in your mouth and in your health. This isn't about suppressing symptoms. It's about locating the cause. And this was produced by Dr. Wallach to help people save money on their medical exams. And if you'll notice, the cover of this book is genius cover. It's like it's made up like a Monopoly board. If you land on this cent, they're going to get you here, they're going to get you there, and but you can get this from Wellness Publications. I'm suggesting to Marvin that we have another part of the website dedicated to teaching people how to examine themselves and keeping track of it, because we've got the health questionnaire. It took us months and months and months to do the health questionnaire. And, I want to bring the next one up here, Doc. Let's bring up the Dead Doctors Don't Lie page there. This is what you're going to see when you go to getdocsminerals.com. It's going to take you to the My 90 for Life page, and you're going to put your information in there. And then we're going to actually, once you get in there, go to the next one here, Doc. This one here, you want to go to that tab right there, and you're going to look at the introductory videos. See under introduction down there, it says introduction, Dr. Wallach, and introductory videos. Watch all of those. It will make watching the initial video, the initial part of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Took Marvin and I months to do that. Took us 8 months to I actually helped him illustrate that, because I actually went to the library and did the research on it and found out how accurate his Dead Doctors Don't Lie lecture was. It blew me away. I found pictures of the 256-year-old guy that died in 1936, I think it was, or 32 or something like that. But I am searching for Doc's Mineral, but keep coming. That's where you're supposed to be. That's where you're supposed to be. It's the my90forlife.com Academy of Applied Epigenetics. The getdocsminerals.com is just an easy way to get there. and it's going to take you right to that site. And you can also, when the next tab over is health concerns. Once you've watched those introductory videos, I will try and contact you. I've tried, and please, when I leave you a message, please call me back. I've had so many people I've tried contacting, and they just ignore my message. I don't know what their thinking is, why they even went to the site in the first place if they're not wanting to talk to me about their health. I can have somebody tell me no, that's fine. But you really want to prepare yourself for life in resisting these, resisting disease. I don't get sick anymore. I just don't get sick, or rarely get sick. The last time I was sick is when Marvin and I were on a trip. We were driving to out east to lecture to several different groups out there. We got to his sister's house, and she comes to this cupboard. Of course, we were on longevity stuff, but she opens this cupboard that has a special immune stuff in there. She says, "Here it is. If you don't take it, it's your fault, because it's all here." And she fed us every day with special food, and she had killer Immune 911, killer biotic, and a whole bunch of other, Opti-C and stuff. And we got well. It pulled us around, so I was glad that she has a longevity house. It is set up for if you're sick, what did he have to say? I bring that back up. I didn't see that.
Sure.
5 screen blood tests are $500 now. Yeah. You can do your own testing on yourself. The Get Docs, the Let's Play Doctor is a wonderful book to give. Anybody that contacts me, you can actually get an ebook from that. You can actually bring it up online. Once you purchase it, it's available in ebook. So, but I'm going to talk to Marvin. In fact, I sent him a text today. I said, Marvin, I think we ought to take this Let's Play Doctor and digitize it into the website so that people can keep track of their own improvements, their own, do their yearly exams and their monthly exams and so forth. So anyway, this website literally has hundreds of videos on there. Had one lady call me up and wanted information. So she got started on the videos. She just went on down the line and watched everything on there. I called her the next morning, and she says, I've been up all night. I just got to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. She started at 11 o'clock and watched those videos all the way through to 5 o'clock in the morning. She was, and she was just blown away, but she couldn't stop watching them because there was so much information there. And and we have testimonials on there. The testimonials are all there. There's testimonials on cancer. There's testimonials on, all kind of kidney problems, all kinds of stuff on there. And literally anything that you are concerned about, you can literally go through there. And in addition to that, I want to say a word for Nuka Chiropractic. It is a special type of chiropractic that focuses on the upper cervical spine. And the reason for that is because where the head joins the neck is a very vulnerable thing. There's over 22,000 ways it can misalign, and you must do it by mathematics. You cannot guess at it. You must measure it in order to correct it properly. And, Lillian brought up the infrared. Infrared is used by chiropractors. There's many of them I have an infrared scanner that I, use for scanning the spine and to tell when they're in or out of adjustment. But there are infrared tools out there that can do just like she did, take picture of the feet and so forth. And believe me, you look to the spine for look well to this, Thomas Edison said, look well to the spine for the cause and prevention of disease. And he said, many people, he says, eventually people are going to look to nutrition and chiropractic as an avenue to removing the cause of disease. And he was speaking way ahead of time, over a century and a half ahead of time. He was saying that. And now we know today that the union of those two, removing nerve interference and having proper nutrition, can get to the heart of the problem. Now, there's one other thing I want to think about, and that's the spiritual side of this. Prayer works also. And the thing that is that one of the things I've noticed in my own life is I have had times when I've prayed. I've had things where I didn't know what to do about. I heard something hurt, and I asked, pray about, Lord, take the pain away. And it doesn't seem to work too well. But I'll tell you what has worked for me is to asking God to remove the cause of the pain or the disease or whatever it is. And, I think God is in accordance with that. And, I'm going to tell a little story here. Doc G, do I have a little time?
That's up to Chance. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. A year ago, last April. Now, Chance knows about this because I told him. I had on about Thursday or Friday, started getting a really bad toothache. And it got worse and worse. And of course, it goes into the weekend and there's no dentists around in the weekend. And so on Sunday, I'd been praying through the whole weekend over this because the pain got really, really bad. A toothache can hurt pretty darn bad. And I got impressed to read the book of Revelation. And I got to Revelation chapter 7, where it depicts the 144,000 around standing on the sea of glass with all the angels around the throne of God. And the people on the sea of glass, and I pictured myself among them standing there looking at God. And they shout with their loud voice, "Salvation be unto our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb." And then all the angels that are surrounding the throne fall on their faces before God, and they say, "Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our God forever and ever. Amen." And I was really impressed. That's an incredible praise to the Creator. In all the Bible, that's probably one of the greatest praises. If you follow the sequence of what they're talking about, and I looked it all up in the Blue Bible, what each word meant, and I found out what might is. Might is different than power. Might is the ability to bring about an end to what you intended to do with that power. And, so as I memorized it and said it over loud three times in a row. And after the third time, a change took immediately place in that pain, and it started to diminish. Now, there was actually a tumor that grew down, between my tooth and the cheek. Yeah, it was that bad. And within 72 hours, that was all gone. The tumor was gone. I thought it had cancer or something else. It was so horrible of a pain. And it went away completely. And, I tried to come back a couple times, and I did the same thing, and it went away again. And I'm telling you, look up Revelation chapter 7 and look up that and memorize it. And I think the devil and his angels hate those verses, So, I mean, there's power in prayer. I mean, the thing is, pardon? Go ahead.
That's a pretty powerful testimony. Pretty powerful testimony.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, Doc, we've gone way over. I want to give everybody a chance for final thoughts. So, Wyatt, you have something to present for your final thoughts tonight. So, would you go ahead?
Yeah. Video file, share screen. All right. Okay. Hang on. Show screen. Now, where is it? All right. Select the screen. No, not going to show me. Okay, hang on. I don't know how to work this. But that flag that I put up behind in the back, I stepped away from the computer. That flag was that flag that you saw. That is the freedom flag of the Kingdom of America.
Nice.
All right, and it's designed with 13 stars. The 13 stars represent the 13 planets. And that's the main, the eagle, of course. There's the rising phoenix, and the red is the bloodshed. The blue is the blue background is the trustworthiness of the kingdom. There's purple. The purple stripes represent the unity of everyone within that kingdom. Okay, so that's a great thing, but that will not replace the national flag, of course. So if you go back and you're watching the replay, you'll see that flag and you'll get to have a really good look at it. So anyway, insofar as final thoughts are concerned, my thoughts are with Brian. I don't know what's going on with Brian, where he is today, and I hope he's well. So Brian, if you're watching, just know that we're all thinking about you. And I'm sorry that you weren't able to come onto the show today. Things being what they are. Got you great photos of one of the people who have made contact with you directly and gone over to visit you in Florida. They were great. Those photos were great. I love the white sands of Florida. I mean, that's like snow, those beaches. But final thoughts, don't be overly concerned about what's happening. A lot of it is just part of the show. All right. XRP is the vehicle for the RV. It is not the thing that's going to make the RV happen. Okay. To the person who asked that question before. So, just keep the faith. I think we're going to be in for a pleasant surprise in early June. All right. And we are so close to it now. But yeah, 10 days. Yeah, something like that. All right. Don't be overly concerned about the so-called collapse, because it has to happen, but it's not going to happen in the way that you're thinking. And when it does go off, it's going to go off with a huge boom. Huge. Think of the 1812 overture. Okay, with the cannon. All right. That's where we are getting to that crescendo, and we are very, very close. This time next week, we may very well be living in a completely different world. Think about that and the possibilities that will bring. Stay positive, stay focused, and just don't let anybody get you down. And you see Jasmine Crockett on the TV and the nonsense that she goes on with. Just remember, AOC is looking like a Rhodes Scholar in comparison right now. I mean, come on, how more ridiculous does this movie have to get before it ends? Seriously. So if you got to laugh at things, just laugh at things. That's what I'm doing. Just laugh, because it's farcical. But this farcity that's going on is essentially to wake people up and to give the people who are awake a good laugh about the reality of things. And we do need to be happy, positive, and all that as we move forward. And don't forget your manifesting numbers. 520-7418. All right, make it happen. Make it all happen.
Absolutely.
You will visualize what you want. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want. I want to be in this office, right, with the president, talking to him about Australia and what needs to happen here. So, and they've got it pretty much planned out what they're going to do with Australia anyway. I just want to get that final confirmation from him and whatnot like that. So,
yeah, my thoughts are for you too.
We are the energy. We are all sovereign people. We will, before we came down from heaven, when we chose our parents, we went to a thing called the court of equity, and we chose the life that we live right now. Unfortunately, we can't remember what we asked for in the spirit. We come down here. That's when the moment we came here, we lost our sovereignty, but we're going to get it back because we are the creditor, right? That's why we are going to become the banks. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful world with technologies, the likes that nobody has ever seen before. And that's all going to be showcased. And this celebration, the 4th of July, is going to go on for a year, folks. That's where all these technologies are going to be showcased. So I got to tell you, I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I'm really, really looking forward to meeting up with Chance and Doc W and Doc G, Ben and Lillian, because these are great people. They truly are great people. And I'm very honored to be amongst such a collective of people. Even Brian, I want to meet Brian too. So this is it. This is what it's all about: connecting and putting your best foot forward into the future and helping your fellow man, as we are trying to do now. That's it, guys. Thanks for listening. And thank you, Doc, for Hamilton Radio, and thank you, Hamilton Radio, for putting this out over the radio waves so that people can listen to it in their cars as they're traveling from wherever. So, great days ahead, folks. Just have a laugh at this nonsense that's going on, because that's all it is. It's just noise. It's white noise, pretty much. Thank you.
Dr. Wiedemann, what's your final thoughts?
Oh, I got some good thoughts for you. First of all, I'm very concerned about Lillian's condition after her accident. She needs to get in touch with a NUCA doctor right away. The circulation in her feet, the nerves control those capillary beds, and removal of the subluxation can reach down to her feet. There's no medicine she can take that's gonna help that. She needs to remove interference. I realize that the patches are bringing about lots of things, but they cannot remove a subluxation. You have to rebalance that head on top of the spine and the body. Removing interference from that brainstem is extremely important, and she'll see a difference in that infrared when she does that. She'll almost immediately, right away. If she gets corrected to a high percentage, 86% or better correction, she's going to see a difference in that. The next thing I want to talk to you out there is I want you to think about where you are at. I don't care whether you're suffering reverses in finances or in your health. Remember that reverse is a wonderful gear. You can always pull yourself out of whatever problems you're in. You have an innate intelligence within you that God has placed there, that when you remove that interference, your body, your health can turn around and your finances can turn around. You just put it out there. You ask, start praying about what you want to achieve in your life, what kind of income you want to have, what you want your life to be like, and God will change it. Okay. And the last thing I have to say is that of all of those that claim to cure, only 3 are telling the truth: the butcher, the tanner, and the tobacco farmer.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Wiedemann. We really appreciate it. Doc G, what's your final thoughts for tonight?
That always cracks me up, by the way. He always
Yeah.
It's true, though.
No, it is true, but it's funny too, because every time I just get a kick out of it. But my thoughts are, listen, guys, I'm going into next week. My birthday's coming up June 6th, and I'm hoping some of this stuff comes out earlier or whatever. It happens. If it doesn't, I'm still happy. But I just want to say that with more doctors I'm aligning myself with, we're going to be healthier. The only way you're going to be healthier is listening to what we have to say and listening to what the doctors have to say. The doctors that we trust and know and like Dr. Wiedemann, my good friend, Dr. Gina Marie. She's a psychic. She's going to have her new show on here probably next week. So I'm excited for her. I'm excited for her because she just came through cancer. And Doc, I want to get you with her because I think that you can help her in a lot of ways. She had chemo, radiation. And again, people, it's not because you don't know what to do. It's because it's what you're told. There's that medicosis again that knows everything, the be all, know all, want all. And then once they caught you in that trap, it's hard for you to get out of it. So we're trying to tell you, don't get caught in that trap. Stay with us. Stay with the information. And this information is for entertainment purposes only. But remember, we're here for you. That's it.
Thank you.
And just
Thanks
remember
so much.
this too.
I love that shirt. Oh my God, it's awesome shirt.
Isn't that the best shirt you've ever seen?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
I think you better wear it next week, Wyatt.
No?
I think you better wear it. Fascinating
Okay, I will.
tonight.
I will.
I hope you're well tonight. I know what you're dealing with, and it has nothing to do with health. But I hope everything works out with the lady. And she's a friend of mine too, and I understand what's going on there. Brian, hopefully we'll be back next week. What I forgot during the show is I learned something Monday that was very fascinating, and I'm going to share it with everybody right now. The medbed technology is very, very similar in action to the replicators that are getting ready to be released this year. Okay? Very similar technology. If you don't know what a replicator is, go on Star Trek, watch Star Trek The Next Generation. They use the replicators all the time to get a soda or whatever they're drinking or their meals or whatever. Go watch how a replicator works, and you are actually going to be able to replicate your body with the med beds to a frequency of healing. Okay, so that's what I forgot during the main part of the show. What I want you all to know is that I love you all. Okay, I love you guys that are on here tonight. I love Lillian and Ann and Fascinating Brian. You guys listen. It's a family, and it feels like a family reunion every time we get on here, and it's just. Ooh. This is the best time. I mean, it's really the best time we get to share information and we get to share health tips. And what more can anyone ask for? You know, we get to share our love of Christ. I mean, it's wow. This thing's turned into something that I never even dreamed it would be. I never dreamed it would be. It's a feel-good time. That's why on the private Telegram page, I tell everybody, don't bring your crap in here. Don't bring your negative energy in here. Don't bring your low vibrations in here. It's all about high vibrations, high frequencies, and helping each other. Okay? Legal advice, law advice. I want to tell you, Dr. Wiedemann doesn't get any credit, but he's also a constitutional lawyer just like I am, because we have both consulted on multiple cases. Okay, he's a very smart man. He does a lot of good and helps people, and he's a very astute individual. What I'd like you to do is next time you're in, keep him in your prayers. Keep watching his show. I'd appreciate that. Wyatt, I can't wait till you're in Washington, D.C. And Doc G.
I just can't wait to be in America.
Everything's that, and that. Okay? So add those up, and that's what you got. Okay? That's what I got so far. Okay? And what I really appreciate is your love offerings that you send, and I really appreciate you buying the RV protocol papers. It helps keep me going, and we do not take any cabal Google money. Okay, none of us do. I want to thank you all very much for attending tonight. Next week, we're going to have a very fun and informational show just like this week. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us. I'd like to name you all by name, but it's time to go. I love you guys. Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
See you next week.
May
Bye,
the good
everyone.
Lord take a liking to you.
Amen.
Yeah.